Have you been feeling exhausted even after a full night's sleep? Do you crave something sweet almost every day? Or maybe you've been losing weight, but that stubborn belly fat refuses to go away. Most people blame stress, getting older, or a slow metabolism. But what if these aren't random problems at all? What if they're actually your body's way of warning you that something isn't working the way it should? The surprising part is that one hidden condition can quietly affect your energy, your appetite, your waistline, and even your long-term health years before it's ever diagnosed. And one of the signs we're covering today is so common that millions of people see it every day without realizing what it could mean. Insulin resistance doesn't happen overnight. It develops slowly and silently, often without causing obvious symptoms at first. That's exactly why so many people don't know they have it until routine blood work reveals prediabetes or even type 2 diabetes. But your body is incredibly smart. Long before a diagnosis, it often starts sending small warning signals. The problem is that most of us mistake those signals for normal parts of everyday life. We ignore them, explain them away, and keep moving on. In today's video, we're counting down 10 early signs of insulin resistance that most people completely overlook. Remember, these signs don't automatically mean you have insulin resistance because many other health conditions can cause similar symptoms. But if several of these warning signs sound familiar, it's worth discussing them with your healthcare provider. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to watch for and why recognizing these signs early may help you make informed decisions about your health. Let's get started with one of the most common warning signs that people almost never connect to: insulin resistance. Have you ever woken up after 7 or 8 hours of sleep and still felt like you could go right back to bed? Maybe you depend on coffee just to function in the morning, or you hit a wall every afternoon where your energy completely disappears. You tell yourself you're just busy or getting older, but deep down you know something doesn't feel right. Constant fatigue is one of the earliest complaints reported by many people who later discover they have insulin resistance. Here's what's happening. Every time you eat, your body turns carbohydrates into glucose, which becomes your main source of energy. Insulin works like a key, helping that glucose move from your bloodstream into your cells. But when your cells stop responding to insulin the way they should, glucose has a harder time getting where it's needed. Your pancreas tries to compensate by producing even more insulin. Yet your cells may still struggle to use that fuel efficiently. The result is that you can feel tired, sluggish, and mentally drained even though your body has plenty of energy available. It's almost like having a full tank of gas, but a clogged fuel line that keeps the engine from using it properly. Of course, being tired doesn't automatically mean you have insulin resistance. Poor sleep, stress, thyroid disorders, anemia, and many other conditions can also leave you exhausted. But if fatigue has become part of your daily life, especially when it's happening alongside some of the other signs we're about to discuss, it may be worth bringing up with your healthcare provider instead of simply ignoring it. Now let's talk about something that frustrates millions of people. You start eating healthier. You cut back on junk food. You become more active. The number on the scale finally starts to go down. But every time you look in the mirror, that stubborn belly fat still seems to be there. Sound familiar? If so, you're definitely not alone. Belly fat isn't just about appearance. Fat stored deep inside the abdomen, often called visceral fat, has been linked with insulin resistance and other metabolic health concerns. When insulin levels stay elevated for long periods, the body may become more likely to store fat around the waist, making it harder for some people to reduce their abdominal fat despite making healthy lifestyle changes. That doesn't mean belly fat automatically equals insulin resistance. Hormones, genetics, age, stress, sleep, and physical activity all play important roles too. But if your waistline isn't changing, even though you're consistently making healthier choices, it could be another clue that your metabolism deserves a closer look. Now here's a warning sign almost everyone experiences occasionally, but when it starts happening every single day, your body may be trying to tell you something important. Have you ever finished a full meal and then found yourself craving cookies, candy, chocolate, or a sugary drink just an hour later? Maybe you tell yourself you just have a sweet tooth, but those constant cravings may have a deeper explanation. One reason this can happen is that insulin resistance may make it harder for your body to keep blood sugar levels stable. After eating refined carbohydrates or sugary foods, blood sugar can rise quickly and then fall, leaving you hungry again much sooner than expected. Your brain responds by encouraging you to look for another quick source of energy, and before you know it, you're reaching for another snack. Over time, this can become a frustrating cycle that's difficult to break. Cravings by themselves don't prove you have insulin resistance. Lack of sleep, emotional stress, dehydration, and certain medications can all increase cravings too. But if you constantly feel like you're fighting the urge to eat sweets every single day, especially along with fatigue and stubborn belly fat, your body may be giving you another important clue. And the next sign is one that many people don't feel at all. Instead, they notice it every morning in the mirror, without realizing it could be connected to what's happening inside their body. The next sign is something many people never connect to: blood sugar, because it doesn't cause pain or discomfort. Instead, it shows up right on your skin. Take a close look at the back of your neck, under your arms, or around your groin. Have you noticed dark, thick, velvety patches of skin that seem impossible to wash away? This skin condition is called acanthosis nigricans, and it's commonly associated with insulin resistance. Higher insulin levels may stimulate skin cells to grow more rapidly, leading to these darker patches. While they aren't dangerous by themselves, they can be an important clue that your body is producing more insulin than it should. If you've noticed these changes, it's worth mentioning them to your healthcare provider during your next visit. Now let's talk about something that doesn't show up on your skin, that happens inside your mind. Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you were there? Do you struggle to focus during meetings, lose your train of thought in conversations, or feel like your brain just isn't as sharp as it used to be? Many people call this brain fog. While it can happen for many reasons, including poor sleep and stress, some people with insulin resistance report having trouble concentrating or thinking clearly. Since your brain depends on a steady supply of glucose for energy, changes in how your body manages that energy may affect mental performance in some people. If brain fog has become a regular part of your life, especially together with the other signs we've discussed, don't simply ignore it. The sixth warning sign often surprises people because it has nothing to do with how they feel. It's high blood pressure. Many people only discovered they have elevated blood pressure during a routine doctor's appointment, because it usually doesn't cause obvious symptoms. Research has shown that insulin resistance and high blood pressure often occur together as part of a group of metabolic health problems. That's why regular checkups are so important. If your blood pressure has been creeping upward over the years, it's another reason to have a conversation with your healthcare provider about your overall metabolic health. Now here's a sign that can make everyday life incredibly frustrating. No matter how much you eat, you never seem to feel satisfied. You finish breakfast, but by mid-morning you're hungry again. You eat lunch, and before the afternoon is over you're already searching for another snack. It's almost as if your stomach never gets the message that you've eaten enough. While many factors influence hunger, insulin resistance may affect the hormones and signals that help regulate appetite. As a result, some people feel hungry more often than expected, making healthy eating much more difficult than it should be. The eighth sign is something you won't notice in the mirror or feel in your body. Instead, it often shows up on a routine blood test. High triglycerides and low HDL cholesterol, often called the good cholesterol, are commonly seen in people with insulin resistance. That's one reason annual wellness exams are so valuable. Even if you feel perfectly healthy, your blood work may reveal important changes that deserve attention. Many people ignore these numbers because they don't cause symptoms, but they can provide valuable information about your metabolic health long before serious problems develop. The ninth warning sign is increased thirst and frequent urination. If blood sugar levels become elevated, your kidneys work harder to remove the excess glucose from your bloodstream. This process can cause you to urinate more often, which may leave you feeling unusually thirsty throughout the day. While these symptoms don't always mean insulin resistance, they should never be ignored, because they can also be signs of diabetes or other medical conditions that require prompt evaluation. If you've noticed a sudden increase in thirst or frequent trips to the bathroom, it's important to speak with a healthcare professional rather than trying to diagnose yourself. Finally, let's talk about one of the most overlooked signs of all: skin tags. These are small, soft growths that often appear around the neck, under the arms, or in areas where skin rubs together. Most skin tags are harmless, and many people simply consider them a normal part of aging. However, studies have found that people with multiple skin tags may be more likely to have insulin resistance or other metabolic risk factors. Skin tags alone don't mean you have a medical problem, but when they appear together with several of the other signs we've discussed today, they may be another clue that's worth paying attention to. If you recognize several of these warning signs, don't panic. None of them can diagnose insulin resistance on their own, and many have completely different causes. The purpose of this video isn't to create fear, it's to help you recognize possible warning signs early so you can have an informed conversation with your healthcare provider if needed. The encouraging news is that healthy lifestyle habits, including regular physical activity, balanced meals, getting enough sleep, managing stress, and maintaining a healthy weight when appropriate, can support overall metabolic health. Small, consistent changes often make a much bigger difference than extreme diets or quick fixes. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe for more science-based health videos designed to help you better understand your body. And before you go, let me know in the comments which of these warning signs surprised you the most. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.